Fame, fortune, designer clothes, red carpets, millions of fans, and then orange jumpsuits and prison cells. Today we're covering 10 female celebrities who had it all and lost everything when they traded Hollywood for handcuffs. We're talking about a TV actress who recruited women into a sex trafficking cult and branded them like cattle, a rapper who lied under oath to protect her crew, a reality star running a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme while cameras rolled, a business icon who made history with insider trading, and here's where it gets truly wild. One of these celebrities actually manufactured deadly ricin poison in her kitchen and mailed it to the President of the United States. Some of these women served their time and made shocking comebacks. Others are still behind bars right now. A few will never see freedom again. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And what time is it right now? Let's start with an actress whose fall from grace involved one of the most disturbing cults in modern history. Allison Mack, the cult recruiter, 300 words. Allison Mack played Chloe Sullivan on Smallville for a decade, winning awards and building a legitimate Hollywood career. But in 2006, she joined NXIVM, supposedly a self-help organization. It wasn't. NXIVM was a cult led by Keith Raniere, and Allison rose to become his second in command. She helped create DOS Master Over Slave Women, a secret group within NXIVM where she recruited and abused women for Raniere's sex trafficking operation. Allison used her celebrity status to lure women into NXIVM, promising empowerment. Once they joined DOS, she became their master and collected collateral nude photos and damaging secrets for blackmail. She ordered starvation diets of 500 to 800 calories daily and orchestrated branding ceremonies where women were held down naked while Raniere's initials were burned into their skin with a cauterizing pen. The sessions took 20 to 30 minutes and were filmed. She also coerced them into sexual acts with Raniere, using blackmail to keep them trapped. Between 2015 and 2018, Allison committed racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. She directly recruited numerous women, performed brandings herself, and threatened to release collateral if anyone tried to leave. The entire operation was a pyramid scheme, slaves recruiting more slaves. Arrested in April 2018, Allison initially defended NXIVM. She pleaded guilty in April 2019 to avoid trial and cooperated against Raniere. In June 2021, she received 3 years in federal prison, a $20,000 fine, and 1,000 hours of community service. She served 2 years and was released in July 2023. Raniere got 120 years. Smallville fans felt devastated and betrayed. Victims' families were furious she only got 3 years, calling it too lenient. Some noted she was also victimized by Raniere before becoming a perpetrator. Multiple documentaries like
Allison Mack released early from prison after being convicted for her role in the NXIVM sex cult. According to online records maintained by the Federal Bureau of Prison, the 40-year-old actress was released from FCI Dublin on Monday, a low-security federal prison in the San Francisco area. Allison served nearly 2 of her 3-year sentence for charges related to her involvement.
Understanding these ideas and then living them, we're changing the world.
You need to get out of there now.
We're going to see a lot of characters really change and sort of make some life-changing decisions.
Most famous for her role on Smallville, Allison was first arrested in 2018 when NXIVM was exposed as a pyramid scheme and sex cult.
When I first came to ESP, I had on the surface something that seemed to be like the perfect life. And yet, when I started to do the work in the classes, I started to transform.
In June of 2021, she was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay a $20,000 fine.
How you feeling?
NXIVM's leader, Keith Raniere, was sentenced to 120 years in prison for his role, which included trafficking women.
What was your reaction to the sentencing today of Allison Mack?
I mean, initially I was pretty shocked. I'm still kind of like processing it all, to be honest.
Just hours after Allison was sentenced, E.T. spoke with one of the cult's victims, India Oxenberg.
Allison, anything you'd like to say to the people who you hurt?
Allison put out a statement, apologizing. Do you accept that apology?
I do. It does not change the past for me. It really just informs me about her and where she's at in her own healing process. It made me feel safer to know that she has renounced herself of Keith Raniere and she doesn't believe him anymore.
What would you say to her today if you could speak to her?
It feels really simple, but I just wish her well. I don't wish her any ill will. It's not necessary. I don't need to do that. I'm moving on, and I certainly hope that she does.
The Vow explored the case. Her apology felt inadequate to many survivors. NXIVM dissolved. Raising awareness about cults disguised as self-help. Allison Mack recruited women for a sex cult. Our next celebrity used her fame to lie under oath. 2. Lil Kim. Lil Kim is a hip-hop legend junior. M.A.F.I.A. member Notorious B.I.G.'s protege. Grammy winner with platinum albums like Hardcore. In her early 30s, her street credibility was real. That loyalty to the street code would become her downfall. There were no direct victims. On the 25th of February 2001, a shootout erupted outside Hot 97 radio station between Lil Kim's crew and rival rappers. Her manager Damian Butler and bodyguard Sweef Jackson were involved. One person was injured. Lil Kim witnessed everything, creating a loyalty, conflict, tell the truth, or protect her friends. When called to testify before a federal grand jury in 2003, Lil Kim lied under oath. She claimed she didn't see her manager and bodyguard at the scene and denied their involvement. Security footage, witnesses, phone records, and her crew members' own testimonies prove she lied. She committed perjury and conspiracy because she wouldn't snitch the street code meant more than the truth. Her trial was in March 2005. She was convicted on 3 counts of perjury and 1 count of conspiracy. In September 2005, she received 1 year and 1 day in federal prison, a $50,000 fine, and 3 years supervised release. She served 10 months at the Federal Detention Center in Philadelphia before early release in March 2006. Hip-hop was divided. Some praised her loyalty, others called her foolish. Fans remained supportive, creating a Free Lil Kim movement. The case sparked debate about no snitching culture. Legal experts used it as an example of why lying to feds is terrible. Her career surprisingly thrived post-prison with a comeback album and reality TV. The prison time became part of her legend. Lil Kim lied to protect friends. Our next celebrity killed someone while driving drunk. 3. Amy Locane. Amy Locane appeared in Cry Baby with Johnny Depp and Melrose Place in the early 90s. By the 27th of June 2010, at age 38, she was struggling with alcohol abuse. That night, her blood alcohol level hit 3 times the legal limit, and she got behind the wheel. Helene Seaman, 60, and her husband Fred, 59, were returning home from dinner in Montgomery Township, New Jersey. They were complete strangers to Amy, turning into their own driveway when tragedy struck. The impact killed Helene instantly. Fred survived with severe injuries but lost his wife in a completely preventable tragedy. Amy had been drinking heavily at a barbecue. Witnesses said she drove erratically through the neighborhood at 53 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. She struck the Siemens vehicle as they turned into their driveway. Her BAC was 0.26%, legal limit is 0.08%. She initially fled, then returned and was arrested. She had a history of reckless driving and previous alcohol incidents. Her 2012 trial resulted in conviction for vehicular homicide and assault by auto. She got 3 years, but the judge incorrectly applied sentencing law. Years of appeals followed. In 2019, she was resentenced to 8 years. After another appeal in 2020, the sentence remained 8 years. She was released in 2024 after serving the full sentence. The legal saga lasted over a decade. Helene's family felt the initial sentence was too lenient. Fred Seaman spoke powerfully at multiple hearings about his loss. The community expressed outrage. Amy's supporters said she'd reformed and shouldn't go back years later. Victims' advocates said she deserved the full sentence. Public sympathy was minimal. This was preventable. MAD used the case to advocate for stricter penalties. Amy Locane destroyed a family through drunk driving. Our next celebrity destroyed her family's finances through fraud. 4. Teresa Giudice. Teresa Giudice became a star on Real Housewives of New Jersey in 2009, famous for her table-flipping moment and lavish lifestyle. In her late 30s and early 40s, she flaunted designer everything while building her reality TV empire. The problem? Her lifestyle was built on massive fraud committed with husband Joe. The victims were banks and financial institutions, mortgage lenders, credit card companies, bankruptcy court, and the IRS. They defrauded the system for over $5 million through false documents. Between 2001 and 2008, Teresa and Joe committed 41 counts of fraud. They submitted fake W-2 seconds, pay stubs, and tax returns to get loans. They lied about income, claiming Joe earned $15,000 monthly when he made $1,800. When they filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2009, they hid assets, failed to disclose rental properties, and concealed business income. They didn't file tax returns from 2004 to 2008 despite earning substantial income, including hiding TV money. The irony? They flaunted wealth on TV while committing fraud. Their defense claimed their accountant handled everything, but the paper trail was damning. Indicted in July 2013 while the show aired, they initially pleaded not guilty. In March 2014, both pleaded guilty. Teresa received 15 months in federal prison, $414,588 restitution, and 2 years supervised release. Joe got 41 months and was eventually deported to Italy. They served staggered sentences so one parent could stay with their daughters. Teresa served 11 months January-December 2015 at FCI Danbury. She returned to RHONJ and later divorced Joe. Bravo kept her on the show ratings gold. Fans were divided. She wrote a book about prison and her career surprisingly strengthened. Critics noted she signed documents and knew what she was doing. She portrayed herself as a naive victim who trusted her husband. The case became a cultural moment about reality TV stars facing consequences. Teresa flaunted fake wealth on TV. Our next reality star's fraud was bigger and she's still locked up. 5. Julie Chrisley. Julie Chrisley starred on Chrisley Knows Best from 2014 to 2023, playing the devoted Southern matriarch alongside husband Todd. In her 40s, she showcased a lavish lifestyle on USA Network. Everything was built on over $30 million in fraud. They defrauded multiple banks, the IRS, and federal bankruptcy court. The conspiracy with Todd and their accountants spanned years, impacting numerous financial institutions. From 2007 to 2001 twosome crimes through 2016, they fabricated documents to secure $30 plus million in loans. They committed wire fraud, created fake bank statements, and lied about income and assets. For tax evasion, they hid millions from the IRS using a loan-out company to conceal TV income and filed false returns, evading over $2 million. They also obstructed justice by submitting false documents to investigators. The audacity? Committing crimes while starring in a show about their wealth.
We got some stories. Todd and Julie Chrisley are self-made moguls of reality television. They pull around 2 million viewers on every episode of their show. It's half of what we pull in. Chrisley Knows Best. They are the most watched original series on USA Network right now. Now, in case you aren't familiar with their show, let's show you a little clippy.
We're determined to help Daddy get over his claustrophobia, so therefore we've come up with a plan to help him face his fears.
We're not going through the damn car wash.
It's so fun.
I don't give a I don't want to go through the car wash.
It's step 1 of immersion therapy. You'll be fine.
Oh my God, look at this, how dark it's getting.
There should be a P. No, not that.
I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
No, Daddy, stop. Stop. Oh my God.
Riveting. For the last 3 weeks, the couple has been in court battling bank fraud and tax evasion charges, and yesterday, a jury
Speaking of washing money.
Good one, Al. The jury found them guilty on all of their counts. Prosecutors say they swindled small banks out of nearly $30 million. Then they filed for bankruptcy to avoid paying more than $20 million in back taxes. The couple could face up to 30 years in prison. What you think of the verdict, the sentence? Were you Chrisley fans?
I want to go first just so I can throw it to Erica. Erica, what would you say about fame?
Fame or shame, it's all the same game?
I thought you would say that. Please continue.
No, people believe in this fake it till you make it mentality so much, but it's like you cannot make it off of fakery. Like, I think people see the perception of it because we see these snapshots and highlight reels on Instagram. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's always so weird to me when people are like faking things, because really what you're doing is bullying people who aren't on your level that you're showing. Because the people who are really at that level know you ain't got it. They know it's not real. And so when we're right, like there's certain things that don't come together. First of all, they had $20 million in fraudulent loans. That shows you privilege right there. That you were able to erase the first 20 that they filed for bankruptcy and erased, right?
Jeez Louise.
So you were able to do that and then get another 10 million. Friend of the show, Buffy Purcell, crawl before you ball. She said they did too much balling and not enough crawling. And let me tell you, because I've been very honest, I went through a bankruptcy almost a decade ago, and I could barely get a loan from the public library after that. Okay, I could barely check out a book. So the idea that they're getting another $10 million, that is some bona fide American privilege.
Erica, before I say what I'm going to say, you just unlocked a crazy memory for me, because one of my friends that's a very, 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 very successful entertainer, is wealthy beyond whatever, texted me one day, like a couple years ago, and goes, I just got turned out for a Macy's card. And he was like, it was good, because he was like, I wasn't a rich comic. Like any comic that you see that has good credit, they have rich parents. The poor ones, we all have terrible credit. So like, I get it. So there's no way that they could have done that. And I will say this though, going off what Erica's saying, fame, shame, I think this is going to be good for them. I think this will make their base rally behind them. And I think when they come out, they will have more credibility and more eyeballs on them. Did Lori Loughlin bounce back? I think she did. Did Martha Stewart bounce back after her felony?
Yes.
Yes, she did. And it was money too.
Yeah, they're looking at 30 years. Like if they served half of that, like the reality show game is going to be in a completely different stratosphere if it's even a thing in 15 years.
Right, really quick, I want to get to this. This is how they were found out. A former male business partner of Todd said the two were involved in an intimate relationship and was one of the people who came forward about the financial crimes.
Isn't he being indicted or serving time too?
I'm not sure, but I know the wife is facing more charges for obstruction of justice. So I don't know about but I know he is claiming an intimate relationship with the Chrisleys.
I'm saying it now. Neither one does more than a year and a half.
I think they're doing 10
I'm saying it now. I will walk off the show if they get more than 2 years.
A sandwich.
Julie actively signed loan documents she knew were false, submitted fake bank statements, and helped hide income she was a full participant. After years of IRS and FBI investigation, they were indicted in August 2019. Their May-June 2022 trial ended with guilty verdicts on all counts. They blamed their accountant, but the jury didn't buy it. In November 2022, Julie received 7 years in federal prison and $17.2 million restitution joint with Todd, who got 12 years. She's currently at FMC Lexington, Kentucky, with projected release in 2028. USA Network cancelled the show. Multiple appeals have been denied. Fans felt betrayed. The Christian community was particularly disappointed given their religious branding. Adult children have spoken publicly, some remaining supportive. Public sympathy was minimal, the fraud was extensive. They maintained innocence even after conviction and lost nearly everything. The case showed reality TV wealth is often fake. Julie's sentence is notably longer than Teresa Giudice's for similar crimes. Julie Chrisley defrauded banks and the IRS. Our next celebrity mailed ricin poison to President Obama. 6. Shannon Guess Richardson. Shannon Guess Richardson was a struggling actress with small roles on The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries. At 35, pregnant and living in Texas, She committed one of the most bizarre celebrity crimes ever, manufacturing deadly poison and mailing it to powerful political figures. Her intended victims were President Barack Obama, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and gun control advocate Mark Glaze. She chose them because they supported gun control legislation. She had no personal connection to any of them. This was domestic terrorism meant to influence policy through fear. She initially tried to frame her estranged husband for the crime. In May 2013, Shannon manufactured ricin at home, a deadly toxin from castor beans with no antidote that can kill if inhaled or ingested. She typed threatening letters with rambling pro-gun rights messages and bizarre religious references, signing them, "I am still God." She mailed the ricin-laced letters to Obama and others. The Secret Service intercepted the letter to Obama before it reached him. When it tested positive for ricin, the FBI launched a massive investigation. Shannon first tried to frame her husband, claiming he sent the letters and providing false information. Eventually, evidence pointed directly to her. Arrested in June 2013, she was charged with possession and use of a biological toxin as a weapon, mailing threatening communications to the president, and lying to the FBI. She initially pleaded not guilty but changed to guilty in December 2013, confessing to making ricin and mailing letters. In July 2014, she received 18 years in federal prison. She's currently at FMC Carswell, Texas, with projected release in 2031. She lost custody of her children and destroyed her career. National security treated it as a serious terrorist threat. The Secret Service was praised for interception. Even minor actress committing this shocked people. Walking Dead fans were disturbed. Gun rights groups distanced themselves, calling her an extremist. Mental health questions arose. Her husband was vindicated after initially being suspected. The 18-year sentence reflected the severity of threatening the president with a biological weapon. Shannon sent poison through mail. Our next celebrity used martial arts skills to sexually abuse children. 7. Zara Phythian. Zara Phythian is a British actress who appeared in Doctor Strange in 2016 and a multiple-time world champion martial artist with a 6th Dan Taekwondo black belt. In her late 20s and early 30s, she ran a martial arts academy with husband Victor Marque, 55. Her public image was empowering female martial artist. The dark reality? She used her position to sexually abuse a student. The victim, identity protected, was 13 to 15 years old between 2005 to 2008 when the abuse occurred. She was a student at their martial arts school. Her parents trusted Phythian and Mark as instructors. The power dynamic was massive. They were authority figures who gradually normalized inappropriate behavior through grooming. The abuse often occurred at their home and continued for approximately 3 years, causing severe psychological trauma lasting into adulthood. Between 2005 and 2008, when Phythian was in her mid-20s, she engaged in sexual activity with the child. Both Phythian and Marque abused the victim separately and together. They groomed and manipulated her, gave her alcohol, and created an environment where abuse seemed normal. Multiple incidents occurred over years. The victim's grooming kept her silent until she came forward as an adult in 2017. Police launched an investigation, uncovering additional historical allegations against Marque. Charges were filed in 2021. At their April-May 2022 trial at Nottingham Crown Court, they faced 14 counts of sexual activity with a child. Both denied everything, claiming the victim lied. In May 2022, both were found guilty. Phythian received 8 years in prison, Marque got 14 years. Both are currently incarcerated in the UK and permanently barred from working with children. The victim gave a powerful statement about lifelong trauma. Marvel fans were horrified. The martial arts community felt devastated. This was a betrayal of the instructor-student relationship. UK public expressed outrage. Survivors' advocates praised the victim's courage. The film industry immediately distanced from Phythian. Her martial arts achievements now represent tools for accessing victims. Social media called for her digital removal from Doctor Strange. Parents' worst nightmare realized. Public opinion universally condemned her, career completely destroyed. Zara Phythian abused a student. Our next celebrity abused her own children on YouTube for millions to watch. 8. Ruby Franke. Ruby Franke ran the 8 Passengers YouTube channel with over 2.5 million subscribers, posting daily family life and strict parenting advice. At 41, she partnered with life coach Jodi Hildebrand, creating connections with increasingly harsh content. Viewers reported concerning material for years, but YouTube allowed it to continue. Ruby's own 6 children were victims, particularly her 1 2-year-old son and 1 0-year-old daughter, who suffered the worst abuse. She and husband Kevin had separated. The children were completely dependent on her and isolated from extended family who tried to help. Jodi Hildebrand fully participated in the torture. In 2022 to 2023, the abuse intensified at Hildebrand's Ivins, Utah home. On the 30th of August 2023, Ruby's 1 2-year-old son escaped through a window and ran to a neighbor's house. He had duct tape on his wrists and ankles, was severely emaciated, and covered in wounds. The neighbor called 911. Authorities found open wounds, evidence of rope binding, and the 1 0-year-old daughter in similar condition. Both were in critical condition. The torture included starvation, physical abuse, rope binding, isolation, denial of food, water, and medical care. The children were told they were possessed and evil. 4 other children were removed from care. Both were arrested the 30th of August 2023 and charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. In December 2023, Ruby and Jodi each pleaded guilty to 4 counts. In February 2024, they received 4 consecutive sentences of 1 to 15 years each, maximum 60 years, but Utah law caps at 30. They'll serve at least 4 years, up to 30. Both are currently incarcerated in Utah. Kevin wasn't charged. All 6 children are in state custody. YouTube community was outraged. Many had reported the channel. Extended family spoke out, saying they'd been cut off. Ruby's sisters condemned her. Child advocates criticized YouTube for monetizing abuse content. The neighbor who called 911 was praised as a hero. Former subscribers said they'd warned authorities. Mental health experts discussed extreme parenting dangers. Public opinion universally condemned her. Focus turned to children's recovery. Ruby tortured children and showed hints online. Our next celebrity flaunted crimes differently on reality TV while running massive fraud. 9. Jen Shah. Jen Shah starred on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City from 2020 to 2023, flaunting a loud, flashy persona with designer everything and her Shah Squad assistants. At 47, she claimed to work in marketing. In reality, she was running a massive telemarketing fraud scheme targeting elderly victims. Her victims were thousands of people across America, many over 55, some in their 70s and 80s. She bought lead lists and promised business opportunities that never materialized. Many lost life savings, couldn't afford medical care, and had retirement funds drained. She orchestrated the scheme knowing exactly what was happening. Never meeting victims made it easier to defraud them. From 2012 to 2021, Jen ran a telemarketing fraud conspiracy. She bought lead lists, had telemarketing companies call victims, sold fake business opportunities, and promised worthless services. Victims were charged recurring fees that were difficult to cancel. When they complained, she moved them to different scams. She orchestrated everything, managed multiple telemarketing companies, directed sales tactics, used shell companies, and laundered money. She defrauded hundreds of victims of approximately $5 million, with some losing over $1 million individually. The irony? She flaunted this wealth on RHOCLC while actively scamming. Arrested in March 2021 while the show aired, she initially proclaimed innocence and played victim on camera. Trial was set for July 2022, but she changed her plea to guilty, admitting to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. In January 2023, she received 6.5 years in federal prison, 5 years supervised release, $6.5 million restitution, and $9.5 million forfeiture. She's currently at FPC Bryan, Texas, with projected release in August 2028. Bravo fired her after the guilty plea. Bravo fans were initially divided but mostly turned against her. Victims spoke out about devastation. Co-stars' reactions played out on the show. Her supporters dwindled after the guilty plea. Elderly advocacy groups highlighted elder fraud. Her narrative shifted from "I'm innocent" to "I was manipulated," compared to Teresa Giudice. But Jen's scheme was worse. Victim statements at sentencing were heartbreaking. Public sympathy vanished after hearing victims' stories. Jen Shah stole from elderly victims. Our final celebrity committed insider trading that made history. 10. Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart built an empire. Martha Stewart living Omnimedia made her a billionaire. At 60 inches, 2001, she was the ultimate lifestyle guru with magazines, TV shows, and product lines. Her brand was perfection and business savvy. Then she made an illegal stock trade based on inside information. There were no direct personal victims, but other ImClone stock investors didn't have insider information, market integrity was compromised, and public trust in fair markets was damaged. Key players included Samuel Waxell, ImClone CEO, her friend, Peter Bogdanovich, her Merrill Lynch stockbroker, and Douglas Fenoyle, broker's assistant, who tipped her off. On the 27th of December 2001, ImClone CEO Sam Waxell learned the FDA was rejecting his company's cancer drug. He and his daughter tried selling stock. Broker Peter Bogdanovich served both Waxell and Stewart. His assistant Doug Fenoyle tipped Martha off. She sold all 3,928 ImClone shares at $58 each. The next day, the FDA rejection went public and stock dropped to $45.
This question I asked myself, why can't I meet someone who knocks me off my socks and I think is hot? I don't know what.
I got knocked out of my socks last week by somebody. And I mean, just very attractive. I mean, I still, you just meet a lot of guys. Where do you go at night?
Home.
Just home. Don't you go out to dinners and parties and stuff? Your friends have to be sitting you next to eligible young men.
No, I'm not living that life, Martha. How do I do it?
Well, you better start. You have a lot of friends, and they should be inviting you and taking. They didn't do that for me either, by the way.
I was going to say that.
I had to do it myself.
And this man who knocked you out of your socks.
It wasn't exactly appropriate, but it was good for a night. Just. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. We didn't go home together or anything, but it was just like a little flirtation. That's nice.
Martha avoided approximately $45,000 in losses. The cover-up was worse. She lied to federal investigators, created a false stop-loss agreement story, tried altering evidence, attempted getting her assistant to lie, and obstructed justice. The SEC and FBI investigated. Her sale timing was suspicious, her story had inconsistencies, phone records contradicted her, and Faniel cooperated. She was charged with conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and 2 counts of making false statements not insider trading itself, which is harder to prove. Her January-March 2004 trial ended with guilty verdicts on all counts. In July 2004, she received 5 months in federal prison, 5 months home confinement, 2 years supervised release, and a $30,000 fine. She served October 2004, March 2005 at federal prison camp Alderson, West Virginia. She called it a life experience. Broker Bogdanovich also served 5 months. Waxell served 7 years. The business world was mixed. Fans were divided. Media coverage was massive. Many felt she proved no one is above the law. Gender discussions arose. Some argued male executives escaped more. Her brand initially suffered devastatingly, but her comeback was remarkably successful. She returned to TV, rebuilt her business, became more relatable post-prison, befriended Snoop Dogg, and turned prison into part of her narrative. Legal analysts used it as a textbook obstruction case. The lesson? The cover-up was worse than the crime. Honesty would have meant lesser consequences. Prison didn't destroy her. She's bigger than ever. One of history's most successful post-prison celebrity companies. 10 female celebrities, 10 different crimes, 10 falls from grace spanning 2 decades. All had fame and success. All threw it away through illegal choices. Fame didn't protect them from consequences. The crimes varied wildly: sex trafficking, perjury, vehicular homicide, fraud, terrorism, child sexual abuse, child torture, insider trading. Sentences ranged dramatically. Lil Kim got 1 year, Martha Stewart 5 months, while Shannon Richardson received 18 years, and Ruby Franke faces up to 30. Some managed remarkable comebacks. Martha Stewart is more successful than ever. Teresa Giudice returned to reality TV. Lil Kim rebuilt her career. Others, Ruby Franke, Zara Phythian, Shannon Richardson, will never recover and shouldn't. The victims deserve remembering. Helene Seaman, killed by drunk driving, elderly fraud victims who lost everything, children abused by those meant to protect them, women trafficked to a cult, all deserve justice. What we learn? Fame doesn't exempt from consequences. Some crimes are unforgivable. Public forgiveness depends on crime type. Violent crimes and child abuse get no redemption. Financial crimes sometimes do. The cover-up is often worse than the crime. Which case shocked you most? Where are you watching from, and what time is it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.